What's up everyone, Tristan here from Metroplex Bass Addicts, here to give you another tournament breakdown. This will be the fourth tournament breakdown video in the series, and it will be over the TTO Texas stop number 3 on Lake Ray Roberts. This tournament was our worst tournament of the TTO season. We finished 71st out of 155 boats with one keeper for like 3.5 pounds. So it wasn't our best tournament. It was kind of the low point of our season. But it's still, it wasn't too bad of a finish. It was really tough fishing. We still ended up in the top 75. The wind on Ray Roberts that day was blowing out of the northwest at like 35 to 40 mile an hour, sustained winds with gusts even higher. The waves were ridiculous, and it took us forever to get around the lake, so we really didn't do that much running. The day before in practice, practice was still kind of tough, but we did a little bit better in practice. We had caught a few fish, cranking the square bill down the dam, and then up in the creeks looking for pre-spawn fish with a chatterbait and a Texas rig. But whenever the wind came in, it kind of messed up our entire bite on the dam because the wind was blowing out of the northwest arm all the way down the arm into the dam, and we couldn't even stay on the dam. The waves were so big. So we ran all the way up into the northeast side of the lake looking for protected water. Ray Roberts, if y'all don't know it, it's like 27,000 acres, I believe. 23 or 27,000 acres, I can't remember exactly. But it's a decently sized lake. There's one big arm on the northwest side that runs way up, and then the east side of the lake has a few coves down on the south end by the dam, and then up towards the north side it's got like 5 or 6 arms, and those arms are normally the better side of the lake to fish, especially in the springtime. So we ran up into a few of those. It's really stumpy, kind of a dangerous run, especially with the waves the way they were with the wind. But we just went around. This tournament was late April. And so it was kind of cold outside that day just because of all the wind, and it was kind of cloudy. And so we ran up into some protected areas, just way up in the back of some of the creeks, trying to find just a few ponds to fish or something that maybe not a lot of people had hit, but that was still a high percentage area. But we just couldn't get it going that day. We did our starting spot basically. We tried to start on the dam, and we just couldn't do it. So then our next spot we ran to, way up on the northeast end, was this little pond, secondary lake-ish area behind a railroad bridge. And we fished the railroad bridge for a little bit and didn't get anything, and then we went back into the creek, and we just started throwing a chatterbait and a spinnerbait around all of the different grass and wood cover. Ray Roberts has a lot of stumps, and it has a lot of grass, and so we were just kind of throwing around up shallow, trying to see if we could pull something out of all the shallow cover Ray Roberts had to offer. And that first spot is where Ian caught the one keeper we weighed in. I think it was like 3.5 pounds. We'll put a picture of it up right now so y'all can see it. And then, so yeah, that's all we had. We just had that one keeper. We covered a lot of water up shallow up in those creeks, just fishing the grass and the stumps. But with the wind the way it was, the lake was fishing really small because everyone in the tournament went up to that side of the lake and was kind of doing the same thing, just beating the bank. And Ray Roberts has always kind of been a lake that it's around our home close. It's one of our home lakes, but it's the one we struggle on the most. So we kind of knew maybe that it would be the low point of our season, but we were just happy to get away with a fish and kind of stay up high in the points. At that point it only knocked us down to 23rd in Angler of the Year, and like we ended up finishing 20th, so it really didn't have that much of an impact just because it was a tough tournament overall for everyone. And I think only half the field weighed in, or right a little bit more than half the field weighed in. But in practice, basically everything we caught on the dam was just on a square bill. This wasn't the color we were throwing. I don't have the color with me, but it was a KVD 1.5 rattling square bill in the gizzard shad color, so it's just a white body with a black top and a black shad top is all it was. And I was throwing that on the dam and did pretty good. I think the day before I caught like a 4-pounder on the dam doing that, and a few other good ones. And so if the wind hadn't messed it up, we might have been able to have a good tournament doing that. And then the rest of the fish and the one that Ian caught in practice were just on a chatterbait, Z-Man jackhammer chatterbait, and it was a white and chartreuse color because the water we were fishing up there on the north side was kind of muddy. So it's just white chartreuse with a white swim bait, and he dipped the tail in chartreuse dye, and that was it. I'm not going to go into too much detail about the rod and reel setups that we used for the chatterbait and the square bill in this video, just because I have broken down both of these setups multiple times in our previous tournament breakdown videos. So if you want to know the rod, reel, line size, and everything that I use for these, There will be links to all of our previous tournament breakdown videos in the description. You can go back and watch those and go look at what I said my setups are. But yeah, that was it. I know this one's going to be a lot shorter than most of our tournament breakdown videos just because we didn't have a good tournament. It was our first bad tournament of the season. We really only had like 2 bad tournaments all year, so we were pretty blessed this year to have a really great year. And we appreciate y'all sticking around and watching videos like this. Coming soon, we just fished a club tournament for our fishing team at Texas A&M Commerce on Munster Lake 2 days ago, and Ian and I actually won the tournament. So coming soon, we will have the tournament breakdown video for that. We didn't get enough fishing content to make it just a fishing video, but we did get some. So it'll be like half the video will be showing the raw fishing footage, and then the other half of the video will be me explaining what happened after we ran out of camera battery and kind of breaking down what we were doing. So y'all be on the lookout for that next, and as always, we appreciate you watching. Thanks.